I just turned it on.
He turned it off,
Thank you.
yes.
Go get them, Bob.
So, I'm just gonna read these, there's
Yeah, go
only
ahead.
two. Richard Murphy is $27.97, and Christian Pass is $468.15. They're all back.
Thank you.
And usually separate this stuff.
You want that or you want to switch?
Tell me when.
When?
Andrew Bickham, 636, 14. Of course, I'm having issues with my fingers today. Joseph Bird, 1,096.74. Hayden Blazik, 800, 586.05. Kendra Brackett is 524.21. John Bryan is 684.76. Gloria Mendia Becerra is 367.79. Karen Clement, $1,098.37. Jeffrey Collins, 671.42. Katie Coppola, 126.06. Keith Culligan is 410.41. Melissa Sanuski is 223.49. Michael Dame is 745.14. Kiki Donis Wallace, 232.73. Robert Gagnon is 760.84. Jason Gagnon is $76.18. Andrew Gray is 478.47. Alexander Hall is 374.92. Mary Lyons Hall is 155.14. Kip Kaiser, 773.01. Joyce Kegel is $530.35. Matthew Kelly is 1187.83. Kevin Newland is $1,635.17. Heather Lindsay is 640.86. Robert McCon is 414.69. Brandon Messina is 527.45. Rachel
What is
Mo,
527.45.
527.45. Right?
This one has 471.44.
Maybe that's, did you know, just about the hours?
Yeah.
It was, when we first entered payroll, we put it in as 32 hours instead of 36, so we must have adjusted the gross onto that.
Yeah, because it comes out as 24. Yeah, all right.
Rachel Mowbray is $89.83. Sarah Parkhurst,
Wait, I had $89.93.
$89.83. Is that what I said?
You said 83.
Oh, sorry. All right, it's gonna be one of those days for me.
We have to slow you down.
Sarah Parkhurst is 434.10. Wayne Robinson is 946.12. Stephen Forza is $1,791.57. Christopher Spitaleri is $1,659.62. Katrina Tennant is $924.98. Josh Turner is $519.13. Olivia Wall is $70.19. Daniel Wicks, $2,155.42. Janice Weirs is 779.19. Jeremy Worcester is 937.59. Daphne Wass is 711.27. Jared Wright Ward is $1,473.71.
Grand total of $27,451.04.
The grand total is 27,947.16. We have 13 hours of overtime in the PD for the racetrack and
Yeah.
4 in the fire department. I just want to make sure that we get that
Thank you, sir.
between checks.
Oh, it's Swayze?
Yeah.
Okay. We have an ACH payment of $197,230.50 to Swayze.
I can just go down on the stack. You have the. Did you pass the top one down with it?
Yes. And underneath, you have it in your hand under the school payment. That you registered.
Yeah.
I just
sit
here.
I'm just gonna, sort the crap out, just tell me where to go.
Which pile do you want?
Smile and wave, guys, smile and wave. I know nothing. Tell me when you're ready. Ready?
You accused me of not separating, so I separated it for you.
You did,
And you
then it
passed
got
on.
unseparated, it's okay. A and B lock and security, $310. Air gas is $67.50. Blow Brothers is $112. Block 5 Tech is $692.18. Casella Waste Management Systems, $26,596.74. Chapel Tractor Sales, $14.43. Citizens Bank, $2,479.50. C&M Cleaning, $1,770.01. Dragon Mosquito Control, $4,400. E&J Auto Parts, $263.16. Eversource is $180.02. First Light,
Sorry. I have $81.01.
Yeah, there are two. There are two, 9901 and 8101.
Okay,
So then total 18002.
okay, got it. But then, you said E and J though, was 6316, and what was it after E and J?
Eversource.
E&J, and then it was Eversource for $180.
Okay, good.
Then we're at First Light,
First Yes.
$150.78. Formax is $69, $69 even. GKG Planning LLC is $2,782.50. Great American Finance Corp is $317.09. Hartman Oil is $940.39. Health Trust Inc. is $93.75. Hillside Landscaping Inc. is $186.20. Joyce Kegel is $48.74. McFarland Ford Sales, $2,916.45. Neptune Uniforms, $366.15. North of Boston Media Group, $141.75. Rockingham County Registry is $8.55. Seacoast Mills Supply is $55.50. Seacoast Security is $162. Seacoast Business Machines is $269.75. Seacoast First Aid and Safety is $54. Starkey Welding is $540. Universe Corp is $52.26. Valak is $246.45. WM Corp is $55.97, and WB Mason is $33.74.
Grand total?
44 cents?
$0.74.
Grand total of $46,176.56.
I have 44.
Is yours 74?
I have 74.
So we're off.
Yeah, I think this is just a typo because this is just the tape.
It's just a tape and I didn't add it up. So,
So Joyce gets to look at that. Hey Joyce.
it's the last one.
Hey Joyce, it's yours. It's off by 30 cents, you get it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Motion to the amendment?
Is there a second?
What was that?
Motion for the amendment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion for non-public?
Do we have a second?
What was that I didn't hear?
Motion for non-public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Joyce?
Ready? Previous balance, $1,548,662.69. Deposits, $518,188.12. The payroll was $27,947.16. Payroll taxes, $7,042.63. The AP is $243,407.06 with a payment to Swayze of $230.50. The account balance is currently $1,788,453.96. Year-to-date interest is $156.12.
Thank you, Joyce.
You? So, quick question on this stuff. You guys put the budget together, well, some of us put the budget together, some of us weren't here. How do we know when we're on track, not on track? Is there like a?
It's a monthly tracking by Karen, and she will distribute a copy of the budget to us.
Like,
As we get through certain stages,
okay,
like quarterly almost, we'll get like this.
we have
You'll
hit
get a whole
X
thing.
proportion
This is how much
of,
percentage we have left of this.
The remaining percentage of the budget.
okay, great, thank you.
Of each
Line item,
In case you get a thick packet.
can't wait.
Skip ahead on the agenda, you sure can.
He's personal.
I think that's enough for you. You know what I mean?
He's enough from you. He threatened to gavel me early before I even started.
He's become unhinged.
I think so. I need to have his wife take away his Wheaties in the morning.
Building permits.
William Perea, 209 South Road, strip and re-roof. Southeast Land Trust, Old Gordon Road, 2x2 sign. Southeast Land Trust, Route 125, 2x3 sign. Christopher Cooper, 272 South Road, installed 2 condensers, 1 LP gas furnace, and 2 new GFCI outlets. Wright Builders, 402 South Road, wire new dwelling, and a 2.5 bath for new dwelling. And Teresa Gilman, 106 Pickpocket Road, demo of old milk barn.
I have to sign this one too, or no? These are two different.
You see the demo file?
No.
So what else? Duly notified health officer.
160 pickpocket.
Fuel dairy. Brentwood Dam.
Yep.
Chief Wicks?
Oh, sorry.
You want to make a presentation on the body cams, and we will start the public hearing to accept the funds that you may get.
Yes, I'd be glad to. I'm actually wearing one with me today. We find these are critical for today's police activities. The public is more conscious of police activities and more critical of what we do and every action we take. With these cameras, we can document what we're doing, what we're saying, and what's occurring. I believe it will enhance the town's liability if there's any allegations of misconduct, and also makes for a more effective prosecution in court for someone for crimes. Like a common crime we encounter is drunk driving. We can document the person, his statements, his physical actions, and make a better prosecution in court. Currently, we don't have it in the budget, so I'm seeking alternate means, including soliciting business and towns to permit us to purchase this type of equipment.
Thank you, Chief.
Is that the one that shows the light on the front, or is it a
This is
different
a new
model?
model we got yesterday for testing evaluation, so when I activate it, it just emits a sound.
Because the last one had a big light on it.
Right.
This one's just got the little light.
Yeah, this is the second model we're looking at. We've kind of discarded the other one because it's very short battery life. We work 10-hour shifts, and it usually dies about 7 hours into the shift, so it wouldn't be effective for us.
So the hearing has commenced at 6:13. Andy, do you have anything to say about the cameras?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chief.
My pleasure.
Do you want to see if there's any public input? Since this is a public hearing?
Yes, it is. Do we have any comments from the public regarding the soliciting of funds for the body cam?
I have a question.
Yes.
Should it be included in the budget next year?
Well, if they get funding from it and we accept public funding, then we wouldn't have to add it to the budget. It would already be-
I think,
Essentially maintenance.
isn't there a pretty stiff maintenance associated, the cameras are pretty cheap, the maintenance and servicing of the equipment, that's,
Good question. There's two primary ways we can go.
okay.
We can store the video on a cloud, which will have residual payments, and I've talked to multiple police departments. The vendors tend to keep going up. The other option is to buy a server that we would keep in-house, and that, in the long run, is a cheaper option, won't tie us down to monthly, yearly payments, so that's the
So
direction we're
that
going.
server would be dedicated to the cameras and the
Period.
record and history of.
Correct.
And you'd be able to identify the officers by number or some sort of thing.
Exactly, every camera would identify the officer, and they'd have their own banks, and there's generally a large request for these with an arrest. As soon as the defense attorney finds out there's a video, he or she don't wanna see it,
Right.
make a determination on which direction they wanna go.
Thank you.
So
Any
that
other,
was my original question, so that will be incorporated into the budget going forward, presuming that you get enough funding to buy the, contribution level.
during the budget cycle, that will be brought up and I'm sure will be established at that time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Karen, you wanna read the next note?
You got Phil's,
Oh, another question.
How much does each camera cost?
They're relatively inexpensive, they're between $600 and $900, but the server, all the equipment around it, it'll be approximately $30,000 to $40,000 to equip the department.
Any other questions? Okay. Karen, you got the next one.
So the guidance has just been released for the ARPA funds, which will be administered through the Gopher administration. So Brentwood is set to receive, so the state has just received the first portion of money June 1st. Within 30 days, they'll release the first half of the money to towns that are interested in receiving their funding, and then the second half about a year later in May of '22. So Brentwood is eligible to receive $236,795.48 for your first half payment if you're interested in accepting those funds.
Make a motion to accept it.
Is there any indication that we have to pay those monies back at any point?
There's no indication that we have to pay that back. The way that I understand it, you can use it for a revenue reimbursement for items that are directly related to COVID or their impact. Brentwood's been fortunate that you haven't seen a huge tax impact or a revenue loss in tax dollars. I think where you'll see that loss in revenue is in your meals and rooms money. But we won't know that impact until this fall. You have until 2026 to spend the money, so there's no real rush to spend this money like there was with the last funding. So you can really be, take your time and be thoughtful on how you want to execute those funding.
We can anticipate requirements for the spending eventually. So we have a motion to accept it.
Second.
Any further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So I'll go ahead and apply for the funds. We'll have to post a second public hearing to accept these funds.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, we need an insurance subcommittee.
Budget
Sandy.
Committee 2020 requested a group to look at health insurance costs / options. So I think the best way to do that is build a subcommittee of probably a member of the Board of Selectmen, and then for the Budget Committee, Karen, an employee, and probably a townsperson.
Okay.
Um,
Bob, would you like to be on that committee?
I'm a health insurance guy, but I know enough about insurance, it's fine with me, but do you want the person that's on the budget committee on it, or do you want me?
Well, that's up to you. What do you think?
I
You could represent both ends.
think John would actually be good on this. Cause I think you've dealt with a lot of insurance and stuff, maybe?
I mean, I've run and owned a couple of businesses, so.
I can read the policy and negotiate, pain in the butt.
Right.
Okay.
That's me.
I mean, if, either one of you would be a good choice, I think.
I don't have a problem doing it, but.
I just think we need
Just to
to
know if we should do budget committee.
I
try to
agree.
balance between being right by our employees and being right by the citizens.
I agree. John, would you like to accept that?
Sure.
Okay.
You're off the hook.
And then I will let Michelle know, and then if you wanna solicit employees.
Any idea for a public member?
How about somebody from the regional association?
Yeah.
Like maybe Becky Dunham or Lynn Austin, maybe? I know Lynn Austin did something with, corporations and stuff like that. Is she did it
Well,
with-
you know, I think Becky is a great person
Yeah,
because of
either
her.
Becky. I know
Well,
she's got
knowledge.
experience on that too, so.
All right, so if we have consensus, we'll contact Becky. Karen is on the committee, and would you recommend an employee, Karen, besides yourself? How about somebody from the library? They seem to be not part of it.
Right.
You agree? Okay, all right.
Well, they don't take insurance.
I'm sorry? They don't take insurance?
Anybody in the library accepts insurance right now?
Well, we'll check it out. If that doesn't work.
Reach out to the employees, I guess, that take insurance and just see first come, first serve, whoever steps forward.
All right. Now we're gonna open a couple of bids for the decommissioned cruisers.
So these are the bids that were received yesterday. You have Asian Auto Services for a Ford sedan and 263212. For the Explorer is 363212. Joel Firmanek for the sedan 3221, and for the Explorer 2021. Chicago Motors 1307, and for the Ford Explorer 1507. Bay Ridge Motors is 2613 and 4288 for the Explorer. Corey Fitch only bid on the Explorer at 2800. And Emergency Remarketing bid 789.14 for the sedan and 1889.14 for the Explorer. So Joel Firmanek was the highest bidder on the sedan. Chicago Motors is the high bidder on the Explorer. And Bay Ridge Motors is the highest bidder if you want to sell them both to one vendor.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Very little. The 6901 seems to be,
You
well,
mean if you sold them separately?
yeah.
So you'd be looking at 8,500 if you sold them separately, or 6,901 together.
Where does this money go?
500, so.
General fund.
So it would just sit in the general fund as revenue to offset
I
costs.
say sell them separately, you get 8,500 for it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at like $800 difference.
No,
Yeah, we're talking close to
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we're
that's-
talking almost $2,000.
That's a lot of money, so
Okay.
to me, it's just like, all right, well, I'll sell one here and one there, it doesn't matter to me which
so
one.
Joel receives the bid for the 3,221 cents. And Bay Ridge receives the bid for $6,901. Is that how you see it?
No, Chicago Motors would be 5207.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
5207.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
will you entertain a motion?
I will.
I move that we sell each vehicle to the highest bidder. Should both bidders refuse, we sell the vehicle to the combined highest bidder.
Second.
Aye.
No further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good call. Very good.
That makes Karen's life easier.
Yeah, 100%, I agree.
The request from the town of Epping for ambulance service.
So the town of Epping had a call for an ambulance service. They were not able to respond, and Brentwood responded as a mutual aid call. The resident of Epping was billed $835.88, and Epping is requesting that we waive that fee. The chief would recommend that you would.
Chief recommends it?
The chief recommends it. He
Okay.
figures that we would waive it if it was a resident, so because it was a mutual aid call and it's extenuating circumstances.
I'd make a move to, motion to remove it.
Second.
Wait.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The Sampson update?
The sense of the date, John.
So, it's weird doing these like 2 weeks after the discussion has taken place, but long story short, we sent a cease and desist to the Sampson property, based on the fact that there is a request that, we have a plan to review, and that has yet to be acknowledged as, something that Sampson is required to do. And so the time allotment has expired from our cease and desist letter, and the planning board recommends that we stand by our cease and desist letter and move toward the next steps. And so while I support that conceptually, I think, we should be unanimous and all on the same page in terms of what that means. It will mean legal action, on a property that's been here and owned by the same person for quite a while, but there is no plan,
Okay.
to be reviewed.
So we need a motion to accept the recommendation of the planning board plus our previous notification to the property owner.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? We're motioning that we proceed with our cease and desist.
So are
Well,
we-
we've already done the cease and desist, so the next step is engaging legal
Legal,
counsel
right, yeah.
and moving to, so, the action that Sampson took was to remove, there's still a sign, I've driven by it a couple times, there's still a U-Haul sign, but there are no more U-Haul vehicles out front. That was one element of the cease and desist letter, that is gone, the vehicles are gone. However, there's still a lot of activity on the property, including potential junkyard, issues that,
Well, plus he has an easement problem because
there's an easement problem on one
all of the
twenty-five.
stuff in front of the,
And he still has to submit it.
And at the end of the day, there's no plan, the planning board hasn't reviewed any plan. So that's the major
Until he complies, then, yeah.
Okay.
all right, so we're gonna get a letter from legal to ensure that they understand what our cease and desist order is, and that we will give them 30 days to comply, or we will take them to court.
Okay,
Have they paid any of the fines? Did we start levying fines?
Well, we haven't because of the blowback from the attorney. And we would have to go back to the planning board to get their reinforcement. Fair enough?
But perfect, I just wanted to make sure that we were crystal clear on that.
Yes.
So, you made did you make a motion, or?
No, I didn't make.
Made a motion, John seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Nice going, Bob.
I was waiting, but I was like.
it's this one.
What's that?
This is this one.
Oh, okay. We have to talk about the estimate for surveyor work on Milk Road Bridge. Bob?
So Bob hasn't seen the survey, these quotes yet. So I have two estimates for the survey on the Mill Road Bridge. One is from Jones and Beach, which comes in at $7,200. That does include topography though, so you can deduct the $1,500 for topography. That won't be necessary. And the town's engineer reached out to Hancock Associates, who is a firm that they use, and their estimate is $5,000.
So 57 versus 5, is that?
Both of these firms have a 4 to 6 week lead time before they can even begin, and then they would estimate, so.
The 5,000, does that include topography as well? Or no?
No, neither of them would include
Oh,
topography.
you said nothing, okay, all right.
Any recommendations, Bob?
I would recommend that we find somebody who can do it faster if possible, sooner. And I'm happy to reach out to some if Karen sends me the language. Only to.
So keep reaching out for estimates is what you're suggesting?
Yeah, I mean, we need to advertise this thing soon and bid it, and if they can't start it for 6 weeks, they're not gonna, well, how soon after could they finish it, Karen?
In Anticipate completion of plan within 3 to 4 months. That's from Jones and Beach. I didn't get a completion time from
Yeah.
Hancock.
I don't know if we can find somebody to do it faster, but I sure would like, given that schedule, I sure would like to try.
Does it, even given that we would not be able to approve anything for another 2 weeks?
That would be my recommendation, yes.
It'd be more than 2
It'd be
weeks,
more
right?
than 2 weeks, because we'd
That'd
have to
be
put it
4
out to
weeks.
bid again.
Yeah.
So it'd be like four weeks until we approve something.
So we're set.
It's not out to bid, is it, Karen?
No, you guys approved it not going out to bid,
Right,
just
it's fine to take.
reaching out and getting written estimates.
Okay.
But your next meeting's not for 3 weeks from tonight anyway.
Can make a motion to go up to $5,000.
Well, we can have yeah, I like that.
I make a motion that we can spend
What,
$55,000.
What about up to $5,700 and tell them, that way you're covering both Jones and Beach and the $5,000 one, I just forgot the name. And whoever, if they can do it faster. Just to not, I mean, I don't care either way, Bob, I'm just,
Oh, I'm just thinking, if,
My recommendation would be to spend more money if we can get it done faster. If anyone's wondering about that.
Well, Bob, do you know anybody that you could contact and who could send us an estimate?
Yes,
How does that fit into your motion?
I agree with John Morgan about the 5,700
Okay.
fee.
I would I'll modify it, make a motion up to $5,700.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Bob,
yes, sir.
if you could get it done quick, then we will hold everything in abeyance until we hear from whoever you have submitted.
Okay, I'll talk to Karen tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Before you go into your documents, I have this letter from your town clerk.
written by Daphne Moss. Dear Board of Selectmen, I would like to sincerely thank Chief Wicks, PD Administrator, Administrative Assistant Kendra Brackett, Officer Spillier, how do you spell his name? Spillier, and Officer Jarrett Wright Ward for their outstanding work with the dog civil forfeitures. I have heard nothing but praise from the residents. I have been told that the officers are kind and professional. I have not had one unpleasant or angry resident. The process has been so much smoother this year, and my office is very grateful. Sincerely, Daphne. Thank you, Chief.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Chief.
And the warrant was signed on June 1st, and they're already done.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Great job.
Could we make sure that ends up in their personnel file?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
This is a property tax agreement that you agreed upon last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Okay, this is for the applicant that was here last time regarding a payment plan.
Yes,
We approved it.
yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is an abatement for Eversource. They were mistakenly taxed for the state education portion, so that is to refund that amount.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is an abatement for Eversource again. That is part of their utility settlement agreement.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Motion, I'd like to make a motion to remove the mask, since the mask mandate for the state is over for the inside and outside at this point.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm opposed.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed just based on, we said we were doing it for the employees until
Yeah.
July 2nd.
I say no, but the motion passes 3-2.
Immediately.
Immediately.
This is an abatement for Consolidated Communications or Northern New England Telephone. George Sansouzi's office would recommend denying this abatement as they have not provided any support or documentation to provide backup for their. Do you want me to read every single one of these letters?
No. George Susi is the attorney we
Motion.
use for the utility issues. You have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Alright,
So these are all of the abatements that have been reviewed by KRT, who was the firm that was hired for the revaluation. So they'll do the first round of abatements. If any of these recommendations are, if any of them are denied, the next level of opportunity would be for them to go to the BTLI. So do you want me to read all of these?
No.
Motion to accept them all
As
as
recommended?
recommended.
So
Second.
these two are,
All in favor?
Aye.
wait, what, I'm sorry, what are we voting on?
Okay, these are abatements.
You can't tell back here what you're doing. It's ridiculous.
those two are.
Phyllis, do you have something to say? Please say it.
I
She
will,
can't
but it's
hear
my
you.
turn.
She can't hear you, that's what she was
You
saying.
can't, you don't know what's going on because you can't hear. I thought when we were, the other board of selectmen had voted, you would put on the agenda what you were signing so people would know what was going on.
Well, it's a matter of public record, and if you wish to find anything out, you may contact Karen at any time.
I know, but you
Okay.
can't hear when you're here, not that.
These are the recommendations to approve the abatements that have been requested.
Do you want me to give you a brief summary of each as you go?
Might as well.
So this is for Rula, which is 414 Route 125. The basis of his abatement was that there was a manufacturer and a lean-to attached to the former garage, which was removed, and the home's condition had been addressed through significant depreciation. So they deleted the lean-to, which affected no value change, but after a drive-through inspection, there was a third building listed and removed from the property, which reduces his assessed value by $7,000. So this is to approve a reduction in his assessment by $7,000.
We just made a motion to approve them.
Yes.
This one is for the Span Family Trust, 31 Peabody Drive. The applicant believes the property is disproportionately assessed because of errors in the assessment calculation and due to the disproportionate assessment of the property compared to other properties in the neighborhood. 9 other properties were submitted as comparisons in terms of finished living area, amount of land, and overall increase in assessments. The subject sold for $799 on 10/31/2017, and the corrective action is to edit the building sketch as well as delete the functional adjustment applied for being overbuilt and adjust accordingly. This results in an abatement being adjusted by $62,900 from $824,200 to $761,300. So those refund checks plus interest go out in the mail next Wednesday. Donna Henderson, 62 Crawley Falls Road. This one's interesting. So she submitted an abatement citing 5 comparables. But on her property record card, she did not have noted that there was an in-law apartment, an extra kitchen, an enclosed porch. And so when we picked up all of those things based off the appraisal that she submitted, it actually increases her assessment going forward. So this is a recommendation to deny her abatement, and then those adjustments to accurately reflect what's on her property will be made in '21.
Excellent.
We got a motion.
You got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
16 Diane McCain Drive, this is also a recommendation to deny. They provided 5 homes out of the 7 as comparables, ranging from 411,600 to 6019 in support of a reduction of value. 15 Diane McCain was the most similar in quality and construction, though 8 years younger, but it was 491 square feet smaller in living area. They also have a 2-car under as opposed to a 2-car attached with a half-story above. So that was a recommendation to deny.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
301 South Road is a recommendation to deny. They submitted an appraisal from 2016 for the value of $288,500. and the fact that a 2017 addition was reflected on the 2019 assessment. They submitted 3 recent Brentwood sales that were over-assessed, but none of these comparables were of similar style or were ranches as similar to this home. A June 2020 exterior review of the property noted new window siding and roof, and for that reason, they're recommending a denial.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
180 South Road, they filed an application based on properties on the same road with same acreage and more square footage with lower taxes. 2 comparables were submitted, neither similar in subject style, age, or living area. 19 Gallant Drive, 74 Lake Road, and 8 Road Circle, all recent sales similar in style, age, and living area are supportive of the assessed value. And for that reason, they're recommending a denial.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
143 Crawley Falls Road, disproportionate assessment because it exceeds market value. An appraisal for $315,000 completed on 10/10/2020 was submitted in support of the reduction of value. The appraisal only had 1 comparable from Brentwood and 2 others from out of town, but not within the 5 communities that comprise our secondary school system. 48 Middle Road and 117 Middle Road, both similar in age, sold for $396,500 and $381,000 respectively, and are supportive of this assessed value. And for that reason, they're recommending a denial.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have all of these in words, so you can just cut it.
No, keep writing, keep writing. It's
I'm
fun.
doing
Such a good job.
It's a violent scribble right now.
140 Middle Road, the application was submitted based on a closing statement and 6 comparables provided, all with more living area and bedrooms. 3 of the comparables were smaller than the subject in living area, 2 were almost the same size, and 1 was slightly larger than the subject. 67 Mohawk sold for $637,500, 86 Mohawk $634,900, and Lake Run at $670. All similar subject in construction grade are supportive of the assessed value. Denied.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
130 Old Gordon Road, they filed an abatement citing a disproportionate assessment to surrounding neighborhood homes based on the price per square foot of the subject in relation to these other homes. Because of the subject's design, just 14 feet in width, functional obsolescence of 10% was applied. 20 homes on Crawley Falls Road were used as comparisons, all but 1 were significantly larger in living area than the subject, and for that reason, KRT is recommending a denial on that as well.
Wait, I'm sorry, on that one, it was everything that they were doing comps on was bigger,
Correct. All but 1 were significantly larger in living area.
so they're asking for an abatement, their comps are larger.
Were larger, so they're not comparable style homes, and so they're saying that they're KRT saying that the square footage, price per square foot wasn't adequately compared.
But okay, alright.
We have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
59 Scrabble Road, they submitted an appraisal for $315,000 on 10/10/2020 to support a reduction of value. The appraisal only had 1 comparable from Brentwood and 2 others from out of town, but not within the other 5 communities that comprise our secondary school system. 48 Middle Road, 117 Middle Road, both similar in age, respectively support this style. So this is sort of similar to other ones that we already read.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
26 more. 30 Spruce Ridge Drive. This is disproportionate assessment in relation to another neighborhood home at 58 Spruce Ridge. They believe the quality grade should be adjusted similar to 58, and the value of the land should be adjusted as well, which it already has. Other properties reviewed within the subdivision similar to the subject in style, quality, living area, and land value, and the subject appears equitably assessed within the other properties, and for that reason, they recommend a denial.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
15 Wilson Way, they filed for an abatement because they had the option to purchase a generator from the developer, and that added to the overall cost of the purchase price and increased the value of the loan. No appraisal was submitted with the application, and the subject sold for $4,054 on 9/11/18, and for that reason, the application is being denied.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
13 14 Abbey Road, they filed for a disproportionate assessment because the basement and attic are unfinished. The kitchen is original in relation to other assessed values of submitted end units. They believe their value to be disproportionate. 42 Abbey Road, also an end unit with an unfinished basement and attic, a year younger but the same size, sold for $305 on 7/10/2019. 37 Abbey Road, similar in age, condition, size, and also an end unit, sold for $285 on 12/11/19. And for that reason, the application is being recommended to be denied.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
11 South Road, they filed an abatement based on large parts of the interior being empty and unfinished spaces. These unfinished spaces have been addressed in the depreciation field under special with the new code, which is applied at a 20% discount, and for that reason, their application is being recommended to be denied.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2 Spruce Ridge Drive is a disproportionate assessment because of a 26% increase in assessment. 3 comparables, all 30 to 120,000 below the subject sale price, were submitted in support of a reduced value. No appraisal was submitted, and the subject sold for $455 on 1/25/19. And for that reason, they're recommending a denial.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And 4 Juniper Lane, they filed for an abatement because there are deferred maintenance issues with the property and it lacks central heat. And these issues have been addressed with the property's condition noted as fair and a 42% depreciation rate. The type of heat is listed, and for that reason, they're recommending that as a denial as well.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And this is the last financial policy. This is the capital assets policy, which just lists that we will show anything that's worth over $5,000 as a capital asset in the depreciation schedule.
Okay.
No change in that, so it's just assigned to review so that we can show
We
the.
have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. You weren't joking about having a lot of stuff to sign, huh?
No,
Wow.
I saw the big stack.
that is all I have for public session. Do you want to ask if anybody else has public comment before you close the public?
Well,
hearing?
How long do we have to leave it open for?
Generally 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Are there any public statements? We're about ready to close the public hearing on the camera situation. Phyllis?
Yes, I would just like to recommend that you change the picture of the new selectman, because it's been 3 months. And
We've contacted the person with the camera, and we haven't had much luck, but you're noted and we appreciate it. Any other comments, public, before we go into non-public?
You don't want to be on the website anymore?
No, I can't seem to match the names up with the picture.
I don't understand it. I think I look very good.
Well, we're anxious to remove both
Do
of
we
you.
need a motion?
All right. Motion to go to non-public?
Then we should have public comment.
Make a motion to end the hearing, and then we can do public.
Second.
All right, make a motion to end the hearing.
We have a second, John?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any other further comments from the public before we go into non-public?
I'm glad we didn't pay extra high school.
I'm sorry?
We didn't pay SAU 16 this week, did we?
No, we,
paid
no,
Swayze, though.
just Swayze. Okay,
Wait till the July 1 payday.
That was a small
Think your
side
lessons are
from
there.
Swayze,
yeah, I heard that,
but it would
okay.
have been a huge moan.
Okay, it's time for you to leave.
I'm gonna
Goodbye.
make a motion, we go into non-public.
Right.
Second.
In accordance to chapter 91A, 311, A, B, C, D, E, and I to deal with real estate and.
We need a,
Reputation and legal.
and
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, bring back a cup of water, would you?
You're gonna come to our lobster bait. Phyllis, gonna come to our lobster bait.
You see me enough on South Road.
I have, you're right.